We all
I believe so. How do you think it would be for beards?
We didn't even put photos first.
No.
Oh,
Hey. Hi. I think we're live. Hey, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us today on Let's Talk Scents. I'm Lindsay, and I'm going to be your host today, and I'm joined by Julia from our product development team and Kevin from customer service.
Hey, everybody. Good to see you.
So we have a lot of fragrances to talk about. We launched 7 brand new spring summer fragrances that we want to go through and talk about because if you haven't had a chance to order them yet, we want to get you excited about them because before we jump into those scents, first of all, it's our spring sample sale and it's happening right now. So all 1 ounce fragrances are 99 cents from now until Friday at midnight Eastern. Limit 1 of each scent. We want to get those samples in as many people's hands as possible so they can try them out and all of their different candles, bath products, body lotion, soaps. We only have 2 sales a year, and this is one of them. So if you are looking to stock up or try some new fragrances, this is the time. Sorry about that. So if you need some help choosing, I wanted to mention 2 really cool tools that we've been working really hard on, and they are live on the site. The first is our top selling fragrance by state. So when you pull that up, you can click on any state in the United States, and it'll show you our top selling fragrances in the last 30 days, and also the same 5 or 6 fragrances over the past year. So it'll show you like what's trending now, but what's been trending over a longer period of time. There's also a couple little factoids about the states. And I was looking at it this morning because I haven't looked at it in a few weeks. And it's just so cool to click through and see like what's going on in the different states. So definitely check that out. Our other tool that I'm extremely excited about because I think every single person in this company participated in putting this thing together. It was definitely a labor of love, is our fragrance finder. So if you go on our homepage, Julia actually does a great intro video for it, so you can click on that and she'll sort of walk you through how to navigate the fragrance finder. But it's great if you're looking to find a fragrance either by a particular season or a particular application, or even if you're looking for a note in a fragrance, you can click on that note and it'll show you all of our fragrances that contain it. So you can really drill down into our fragrance line and see what's going to suit your needs.
Yeah, which ones are soap safe, which ones are reed diffuser compatible. You can really narrow it down a lot.
Yeah, so it's really cool to play around with. I like to just click through it and, have fragrances suggested to me when I'm trying to, make something different. So definitely check it out, and that should help you with figuring out what you're going to order for our 99 cent sale, which again is happening right now.
Or you can just get them all.
Or just get them all.
About 150 total, so you could just get every single one if you wanted to.
I think so. Also on that note, those 2 tools that'll help you navigate our fragrances, we've been working really hard on them, but as usual, there's always improvements to be made. We want to hear your feedback. The fragrance finder has a little button in the top right that you can click on and submit feedback directly to us. The fragrances by state tool has a comments field at the bottom, so you can submit comments and let us know what you think. We definitely want to hear about it. We want to make it work for you. All right, on that note, jump in with your questions and comments while we're live. We'll be kind of holding them till the end, and we're going to try to get through as many questions as we can. And even after this, if you're not watching this live, if you're going to watch this, maybe tonight or tomorrow, we are going to continue to answer your questions. So just because we're not live anymore doesn't mean you can't ask us questions, although maybe somebody else will answer and not the 3 of us.
And you can always call and ask me.
You can always call and ask Kevin. All right, so who's ready to talk about these 7 new spring and summer scents?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
I love them. I'm so excited about all of them. As we go along, we want to know which of these fragrances is at the top of your list to try. So we're going to have a poll, I believe, going on with this Facebook Live event. So let us know which one you're most excited about. I know for me, it was the White Sage and Lavender. So that's my bet. I think everybody's going to vote for that one, and that's going to be the winner. Julia, what do you think?
I think Cactus Flower and Jade.
Yeah.
Getting a lot of love so far.
Oh, they're all great.
No, they're all so good. It's hard to choose, but I got to go with the cucumber. Fresh pick cucumber.
Okay.
It's unique. People are going to love it.
All right. Mm-hmm. Well, awesome. All right. Well, first off, let's go ahead and start with your pick, Cactus Flower and Jade. Julia, tell us about it.
Okay. I love this fragrance. It's super fresh, super green. We've been looking to add a cactus flower scent to our line for a while now, and we were in the first stages of testing what would eventually become this cactus flower and jade scent. We knew it was really special. Mm-hmm. When I think spring and summer, this is what I'm talking about. Just super fresh, super green, really energizing as well.
Absolutely. And I know from a customer service standpoint, we've gotten a lot of requests for cactus flower specifically.
Okay.
So I was excited to see this one.
Good. You get the top notes of agave and aloe right away, and then the chrysanthemum, green leaves, green floral in the middle just bring this really fresh pop of green to the fragrance. It does have a base note of patchouli, but it's not a super strong patchouli like our patchouli fragrance, but you can tell there's something earthy in there that's really bringing all the fresh green notes together.
Sure.
What do you guys think of this scent?
I love this one, and I know that it's been really popular during the one out sale. I was at the warehouse yesterday. I was watching them fly off the shelves. Yeah, I'm really excited to hear what everybody else thinks about this one.
Yeah, I was looking at the popular fragrances by state, and this one tops the list for recent purchases.
And every one I clicked on.
A lot of them,
Cool.
yeah.
Yeah, it was
This
either
one's
one or
just-
two.
And I see why. Now, I love it because I'm not really big on florals in general, but this one, the greenness of it makes it just, to me, for someone like me who doesn't love florals, it makes it a lot better. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, it's super green. And cactus and cacti have been really on trend lately. We've noticed a lot of cacti and home decor, clothing, accessories, all kinds of things.
Sure.
Even some delicious sounding drinks featuring this versatile plant.
Yeah, we got to get on that.
And we might just have a couple succulents hanging out around the office on everyone's desk.
Just a few.
Yeah, we made a cactus flower and jade candle in our new 3-wick tumbler with our seafoam dye block. So these tumblers are great for adding a new offering to your line. They hold just over a pound of wax.
We just launched those a few weeks ago, right? They're very new, so if you haven't checked those out, definitely check out the 3-wick tumbler.
Yeah, I love them.
They're great with 1, 2, or 3 wicks. And check out the label. We designed this with Avery WePrint. So if you like this design, you can use it in the link below. Feel free to tweak it and customize it to your own liking, or just use it as is. Thanks to our partnership with Avery, all of our customers get 10% off of their Avery label orders. And now, as a special bonus, during this week, during the sale happening right now, customers get an additional 25% off of their label orders with their shipment. So keep an eye out in your package for your unique coupon code that's going to come in there. So you can use that for a future Avery label order. And I think this fresh green cactus flower and jade scent's really pretty for bath and body care products as well.
Oh, yeah, I can see that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
When we were naming this too, I remember we threw around the name aloe. So I think that would be a cool concept for somebody for rebranding. You could rename this fragrance some sort of an aloe concept or
Sure.
cactus and aloe.
That's great.
Yeah,
for our
especially for
spa
bath and
line.
body.
It
that
is.
works.
Yeah.
It's very spa-like. It's very soothing.
Yeah, it is.
And for any soapers who do cold process soaps, we put our cold process notes on the product page, so feel free to check that out to see what our results were for cold process soaps. This will be great in melt and pour too.
Absolutely.
All right, take your.
I'll take
So
that
just a
one.
little note on this: we're when we smell our fragrances, this is part of our product development process, and something just a good general practice. We use these blotter strips, which we sell on our site. Dip them down in the bottle, and that way when you smell it fresh out of the bottle, you don't necessarily get the full note profile of the fragrance. By letting it dry down on the blotter, you get a little bit closer to what it would be like in a base. We certainly ask that you try this in a soap base or a candle base before you make your final determination on a fragrance, because it can change drastically from out of the bottle to in a finished product.
It really can.
We've seen it. We try to make those notes right on the site.
We do, yeah.
And I know you
we do, and the blotters help a lot. So in a pinch, you can always do the blotter. Sometimes it can be more cost effective to do it that way. But in wax is always the best way to do it. In wax or in a base will give you the true profile of that fragrance. And that couldn't be more true of the next one we're going to talk about.
Yeah, and then when we're done, just to keep from the room filling up with the combinations of the fragrances, that's why we stick them in the baking soda down there on the end. It sort of extinguishes the odor, same as putting it in your refrigerator, except these are good odors that we're extinguishing. And so that way we're actually smelling what's on the blotter and not what was done before. So, all right, so for our next fragrance, we're going to talk about Black Cherry
Merlot.
And I believe, Kevin, you're going to take that one.
Which I'm happy about because I absolutely love this. This is our modern take on the classic black cherry fragrance. And as we were just discussing, one thing we want to note on this one is that it is really strong out of the bottle. Almost too strong to get the full profile. We highly recommend testing it in wax or in your soap base before you make your final judgment, because this one really does open up in the wax. In fact, we have one made here. Which on the blotter it's fantastic, but honestly, I was smelling this before we started, and it's even better in the wax.
Oh yeah, you definitely get all of the notes.
Yeah, you start to pick up the subtlety, the individual notes, and you get the top of the black currant and apple, which makes way to the heart of just red wine and black cherry with a little touch of clove to it, because it's a tiny bit of spice. But then it has a really nice oak and vanilla base that rounds it out. It's a fantastic fragrance.
I love that color combination.
Me too. Yeah, I do. It works really well because it's the name is pretty elegant, and wine fragrances are becoming increasingly popular. So I think that's something to keep in mind as you consider how to position this in your line. It's also diffuser base compatible, and unlike our previous black cherry fragrance, is also Bath and Body safe. So you can keep that in mind when you're adding that to your soap line. We'll have some reviews on it as well. Some people have already tried this out and had a lot to say about it. Becky says, okay, so I thought I was going to open the bottle and smell a strong, bright, candy-like cherry. Not the case. This one is more complex. It has a nice, deep warmth to it. I can detect the Merlot, and it's very different than any other black cherry scent out there. This one is SEXY. Sure to be a hit. And I couldn't agree more. The previous black cherry was good, but this is just, it has a subtlety to it, a complexity that makes it so much better. And Vanessa says, I have a hard time finding a black cherry fragrance oil that isn't medicinal, but black cherry Merlot hits the mark. Definitely a bright cherry scent out of the bottle, so I'm very excited to use this one in some summer candles. And again, couldn't agree more. It's great out of the bottle, but once you get it in the wax, you get the full profile, and it's fantastic.
It's way better.
It really is.
I think it's great for any season because it's always wine time. So any time of the year.
We should have had some props for that one. All right, well, so that's Black Cherry Merlot. Our next one is Fresh Picked Cucumber, and I get the joy of talking about this one because we've smelled this one plenty of times before, but every time I smell it, I'm always surprised by just how true to life this one is. I mean, it is fresh. It is
really
crisp. It smells exactly like the name. There's no other, there's no beating around the bush with this one.
No, it's cucumber.
So realistic.
Yeah. It's like you just walked out into the garden and snapped one right off the vine. I mean, it
really is.
It is so true to life. Obviously, cucumber is the dominant note. That's going to be your top. Middle, you get notes of green leaves, honeydew melon, basil, and thyme. It kind of reinforces the freshness of it. It's very, very mild. Like I said, it's not like a blend. It really is fresh picked cucumber, but those notes just really pull up the cucumber notes.
Yeah.
And then it's got a little bit of moss in the base that sort of brings in that nice earthy finish, which is what, really brings it to life. How do you two feel about it?
I love it. I think it's so realistic. It's like you've just sliced up a cucumber. You get the cucumber and the cucumber peel in there too.
Yeah.
You do. I'm super excited about it. I've always liked cucumber fragrances. We had cucumber melon. Himalayan bamboo has a good cucumber note to it, but to have a true cucumber fragrance like this is something I'm really excited about.
Yeah.
And I think we nailed it. I mean, it is true to life.
No, it's great. And I think, you could do this on its own or as part of a custom blend.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I also think that, we were talking the other day about if you wanted to create like a package deal, like a farmer's market blend, you could do fresh picked cucumber, tomato leaf, and garden mint. I think those three just scream farmer's market, fresh from the garden.
It'd be an excellent sample pack.
Oh yeah.
You could mix those too into one fragrance. Like, I think this would mix well with garden mint.
That would be really interesting.
Try it out.
Yeah.
Cucumber.
I love mixing fragrances.
Yeah.
Let us know what you think if you mix any.
Yeah, we actually have a list. I think it's on the FAQs.
Yeah,
of
we do have it
different
online.
blends that we've tried that we really liked. Customer submissions. So definitely. let us
If you
know.
mix this with something else, feel free to share. We'd love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, definitely. I think that this is a very you could make this fit into a spa line or a rustic themed line. In fact, we put it in our our square label ready mason jar with a rustic lid, and we finished it off with a craft label from Avery. Definitely has that sort of farmer's market appeal. We used I think a seafoam dye block.
Yeah, that craft label looks great.
Yeah, it works well with that.
It really does. It kind of brings the whole theme together. So, I think let's see. Yeah, like rustic or a spa collection. I mean, it sort of reminds you of the cucumbers over your eyes when you're in the spa. Never done that, but it always sounded cool.
I can't say that I have either.
Really?
Maybe I need to.
After this week and the 1 ounce sale, we're all going to need a little relaxation. I think you could also make soaps foaming bath butter would be lovely with this. I've also got some reviews, so I wanted to read a couple. Caitlin says it smells exactly like a fresh picked cucumber. I agree.
It really does.
And Margaret says clean and fresh, perfect for my new spring line of candles. Most likely will use it in my soaps and scrubs as well. I think that's a great idea, Margaret.
Yes.
So give
use
this
that
one.
soap.
Yeah, I would use that soap.
Yeah.
So give this one a try if you're a fan of green, herbal, fresh from the garden. I mean, this is the one for you. I'm going to pass this down so we can
Thank you.
move on. All right, I believe our next fragrance is Magnolia and Peony.
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 I've heard that said a few different ways now.
No. Julia's going to talk about this one, but we have argued about how to pronounce this fragrance. If you have a strong opinion, we want to hear it.
Well, I've heard it every which way from customers so far.
Well, my very southern mother, who I grew up working in her flower shop, would say it's a peony.
Peony. I think I've heard
Peony,
that.
but you say it real fast.
Peony.
Peony.
I think I've heard that more often than not. We have a lot of
Yeah.
southern customers, so I've heard peony.
I've also heard penny, like the chain, like the coin.
Right. So there's no O whatsoever.
No, it's just a penny. You say it so fast the O disappears.
Say it however you want. It's really good.
Well, how do you
way.
say it since you're talking about it?
Magnolia and Peony.
Okay.
I think with a little southern accent. Now that's a floral. Mm-hmm. Apologies
Absolutely.
to Miranda Priestley from The Devil Wears Prada. We know florals aren't exactly groundbreaking for spring, but Magnolia and Peony is a true powerhouse.
It is.
You get a bouquet of different flowers right off the bat with violet and lily, in addition to the magnolia and peony notes, with freesia. And it's all rounded out with notes of powder and wood in the base to balance all the floral notes. What do you guys think of this?
You know, I'm not a huge fan of florals. They're just not typically my thing, but I
Fair.
really like this one. It is a floral, but it's just it's got so much, like, I don't know, it's so well-rounded that it's not offensive.
It is. No, and you list off all the different floral notes that are in it, and so many of those I honestly don't even know what they smell like individually. Like, I can't detect everything that you detect, but it together is a really nice floral, and I think it'd make for fantastic soaps.
Oh, yes. Yeah, they all come together really well.
They do.
You can always count on florals to have more than a few fans, even if you personally aren't a huge fan of florals like some of us. A lot of your customers might really like it. It's a great floral fragrance to add to your line. So if you don't already have one, this would be a really good option. Or if you do have ones, this is pretty different than a lot of other florals.
Right.
So it would be a great compliment.
Yeah, I've been looking to add a new floral, and this may be it.
Especially since florals are coming back into vogue. They never
Yeah.
really lost popularity, but as people are getting reintroduced to good modern florals, they're starting to love them a lot more.
Agreed.
Good modern florals, I think, is the key there.
Oh, we made a Magnolia and Peony candle in our white straight-sided tumbler with the silver flat lid, and we used a pale pink dye block. But any color, this scent would
Yeah.
be great to use any color.
And I like the way, I don't know if you can see it on screen or not, but I like the way that the color shows through just a little bit on the white tumbler.
Yeah.
It's muted, you can barely see it, but it gives it a nice appeal.
Yeah,
I think
sneak peek.
Kind of like
Yeah.
a very like pale pink hue. It's not even very obvious.
Yeah.
I think you can hold it up there. It's just got it
Okay.
zoomed in. There we go. Yeah, you can kind of see it. It's got a little bit of a.
And I think
of a
darker
hue.
colors would show through even more.
Yeah. And remember, all the label designs that you see on our table, they're available. You can use as is or tweak them to your own. And we're including the links down below. So,
Yeah, a lot of these you can click straight through the link and go to Avery's website, and you will be taken directly to that template so that you can customize it, or you can do exactly what we did here if you like what we did. So thanks to Avery for letting us have that ability.
And they also have a very nice rep standing by if you need help with any of your labeling needs.
Nicole, right?
Yes, Nicole.
Yes, I've
She's
spoken with
fantastic.
Nicole.
thank you.
There we go.
Thank you.
All right. Next up is the one that I was the most excited about, which is funny because these are not my kind of fragrances at all. White sage and lavender.
Yeah.
So we got Kevin. He's going to talk about that one. Here you go.
It's funny. I'm not always a huge lavender fan, but it's hard to go wrong with lavender. You know, it's constantly a chart topper. You know, and there's a reason for that. It has a mass appeal that people just absolutely love. In fact, if you look at the fragrance, the favorite fragrances by state, lavender, our original lavender is the top fragrance in more states than any other fragrance. Lavender just constantly sells. It's constantly on the top of the list. But we wanted another take on lavender. We wanted to do something a little bit different, and I think we did really well with this one. It's a new twist on a much loved fragrance that I think you guys are really gonna like. you get that hit of lavender right away. I mean, it's a heavy lavender fragrance, but it's followed by that infusion of camphor and chamomile. Has some rosemary and sage to it, so it gives it a really nice herbal appeal.
I think that's why I like it, because it's more herbal and less like floral lavender.
Right.
That's sort of the way that I seem to trend.
Yeah, absolutely. Lavender kind of falls in the middle there. It's floral, but it's also a little bit herbal. So when you mix it with this many herbs, it heightens that herbal character of the lavender. And to me, I love our original lavender, mainly because it sells really well. But I like this one, I think, a little bit more. So it's tough, but it's fantastic. It also has a little bit of woodsiness to it. You get a tiny bit of sandalwood and cedar in the base, which I think kind of rounds it out a little bit as well. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. I think it's got that. It's herbal. It's very clean. It's very modern and high end smelling to me, which is always good for your candle line. You mentioned sandalwood. That was one of the names that we threw out when we were trying to name this one. Was we said lavender and sandalwood, or using that as a concept. So there's an idea for you if you want to rebrand it for your own.
Yeah, there's so many notes in it that you can tweak the name a lot of different ways. Yeah, including with the sage. There is a heavy sage note to it, and we really wanted a sage fragrance, but they're kind of hard to do, especially in soy. So we were really excited when we landed on this one. I think we found something really special with this.
Oh, Julia, what did you think? Sorry, I interrupted you.
It's super herbal. I love it even more than our other lavender fragrance. If you like our other lavender fragrance, then you should give this a try. It's pretty different, and even if you don't like our plain straight lavender fragrance, try this because it's a lot more herbal, and
It is.
they're really different.
Yeah.
They really are. Oh, and it looks like somebody commented they call this herbal magic.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's great for aromatherapy lines. It just
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
And it's soap safe too. So we recommend it for soapers. Absolutely give this a try in your favorite soap recipe, cold process or melt and pour. The herbal notes really develop in the base.
So good.
Yeah, which really makes for a fantastic soap fragrance. In fact, we have some sensational soap bars that we made with our white sage and lavender right here. We actually will have a tutorial coming soon on this as well, so keep an eye out for
Show 'em
that.
over there.
Oh.
Zoom in.
Yep, so we will have a tutorial. We're putting together a step-by-step tutorial for these, so keep an eye out on our website for that one. And I may take this thing home and give it a try.
You got to put it back first.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
After
it's
the
a
show.
prop.
After the show. Sorry about that. Oh,
that?
thank you.
We also have a candle up there. Is that the
We
big
do.
one right there?
Yes, we have it in a candle as well. In our apothecary jar, we dyed it with our Key West Green liquid dye, put a bronze lid on top. So it's fantastic for soaps and for candles. I'd give it a try for both. Again, label from Avery.
Thanks, Avery. All right.
Now let's move on to strawberry guava.
All right.
This is a fun one. This is another one where we really recommend testing it in base and either make a candle or make soap with it before you decide whether you like it. Because out of the bottle, the sweet fruit notes are really strong. But I love it out of the bottle. Like, I can't stop smelling this bottle right now.
Yeah.
So.
No, I like it out of bottle, but give it a moment to open up, and it balances out. I like it better after airing it out for a moment.
This is a great example of why you should give it a little bit of time to air out, or you should definitely put it in a base, whatever your finished product's going to be, before you pass final judgment, because it is delicious in a candle. On the blotter, it is a little overpowering.
Yeah.
Still pretty.
Yeah.
Super sweet smelling. This
It
one's
is.
a really tasty smelling medley of fruits. Passion fruit and mango uplift the strawberry and guava, and vanilla and sugar in the base keep everything from getting too tart. What do you guys think about it?
I'm excited about it. I've been waiting for another strawberry fragrance, one that's a little bit more modern, up to date, and I think we knocked it out of the park with this one. It's really good.
Yeah, it's definitely an updated strawberry fragrance.
Yeah. It can be tough to do strawberry and still make it upscale.
Yeah.
And I think this one does that.
It reminds me of my favorite fruity lip balms that I just can't stop smelling.
This would be great in a lip balm. In fact, can we do that? Can we put this in a lip
I
balm?
don't believe that we can.
Oh, we can't?
No.
This is just a really fun, bright, juicy fragrance. I mean, it screams summer. Like,
It really does.
We definitely recommend breaking out the color when using this scent. We made a, thank you.
Yeah.
Made a strawberry guava candle with our red dye block to give it this pinkish red color, and soy wax, and our fun label to match the fun vibe of the scent.
Yeah.
And this is the only one of our fragrances in our new launch that's not diffuser base compatible, but all of the other ones are. So I'm looking forward to making melt and pour soaps with this scent, and I think it would be great just to fragrance like any washroom or even for a kitchen soap too.
Yeah, that can make for a fun soap. Be a great kid soap too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Do some fun shapes with it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, great. Well, so next up, I think we have our final of our 7 new fragrances to talk about, Hibiscus Palm. Kevin,
Yeah.
you
And if you've been paying attention to the website, you've probably heard me talking about this one already. I think I was even wearing a similar shirt.
it wasn't the same shirt.
It was not the same shirt. It was similar,
Okay.
not quite the same.
All right.
I had to mix it up
Different
a little bit.
different layers of Kevin's.
Exactly. Yes.
plaid.
It's not very diverse, but a lot of green and black.
Hey, it works.
Anyway, last but not least, we have Hibiscus Palm, which I'm super psyched about. And it's another one that it's a floral, but it has a grainness to it, so it appeals to people like me that don't love pure florals all the time. If you're looking for a fantasy floral for your line, this is definitely it.
What's a fantasy floral?
A floral that...
For anyone who doesn't know, because obviously.
Yeah, and actually this was kind of new to me, I'll be honest. I said it like I knew exactly what I was talking about, but I just...
You were very convincing.
I may have learned this a couple days ago. But in that, they're fragrances that you typically don't find in nature. You know, these two fragrances on there, from the plant, does not emit a large amount of fragrance. So it's, taking a twist on that natural aroma. And this does that. I mean, it's lush, it's elegant, it's simply fantastic. It's a really good fragrance.
It is.
It begins with top notes of ylang ylang, one I have trouble with. Good luck saying that one 3 times fast.
But you only need to say it twice.
That's true. I think you say it 3 times, you've said it 6 times. But ylang ylang, it gives way to a heart of jasmine, bamboo, and palm, which is why I really like it, is that more green middle note that it gives you. It also has a base of powder and plumeria in there and sandalwood as well. So it's really complex. It's a deep fragrance, has a lot going on. So much more than just a floral fragrance. It really is good. Altogether, the notes make for a really nice, well-rounded, just earthy floral fragrance, and I like it a lot.
Yeah, I do too. Like I said, the florals are not usually my thing, but this one is another one that I really like.
Yeah.
It's so, I don't know, it's just not in your face like, grandmother's perfume floral.
Right.
It's nice, it's balanced, it's updated, it's
It really
modern.
is.
It's super green. Makes me feel like I'm in a tropical shampoo commercial.
I can see the rainforest all around you. Yeah, it's definitely a treat yourself kind of fragrance. So something to keep in mind for your Bath and Body line, your upscale spa candle line. It'd be great for that type of product. And I don't know if you've noticed, but palm is growing in popularity these days. You see it in fabric patterns, home decor, even food and beverage. So palm is something that's growing in popularity, and I think this will end up being a really popular fragrance. I'm excited to see how it does in my home state of Florida. I think if we keep an eye on that fragrance by state, this one's going to do really well down there.
Hawaii
Yeah.
too is my
Hawaii.
bet.
Yeah, I can see that as well. Absolutely.
Nice hot climates.
And we have some reviews on this one as well.
Let me take your bladder.
And I couldn't agree with this first one more. Flowery smells are not my favorite, but this one makes me think twice. I used with soy wax, and so far the hot throw is very good. Cold throw is like having fresh flowers on the table. That was Denise, and I completely agree. I'm not a big floral fan, so in that regard, it's fantastic. Vanessa says, one of my favorite tropical scents out of bottle. I've had a hard time finding strong hibiscus fragrance oils, and this one certainly does not disappoint. Again, couldn't agree more. And Andrea says this is a very nice, genuine palm scent. And I'm glad somebody said that because it's more than just a floral. The palm really comes through. It makes for a very well-balanced fragrance. If you're looking for a new floral or something that just has a little bit more depth to it, absolutely give that one a try.
Awesome. Well, now that we've gone through all 7 of our new spring and summer fragrances, we want to hear what you think. We definitely want you to leave us reviews on the fragrance pages if you've tried these out for yourself. We launched these, about 2 weeks ago? Is that right? When did we launch these? Yeah, so they've been on the site for about 2 weeks. So some of you already have them in your hands. If you don't, now's the time because it's our 99-cent 1-ounce sale now through Friday. But if you have tried them and you have thoughts, we want to hear it because it helps other makers. It helps us to determine what we're going to develop next. All that feedback is extremely helpful, and we want to hear your unbiased review. We also wanted to share some of our staff picks, maybe some fragrances that are sort of flying under the radar a little bit. Do you, Julia, do you have one? Do you have like your sort of the sleeper fragrance or one of your favorites?
Well, I love sea salt and orchid. That one's been a favorite throughout the spring, and it's great for year round. It's a little bit floral, but it's just a really comforting fragrance as well.
I agree. I love that one. Oh, and I love that color for the sea salt and orchid.
Yeah,
I've never really thought about using.
These are orchid dye block.
Makes sense.
But
Appropriate.
It is. I just never thought of that. I'm
Also
always
just-
going with white soy wax. You know?
Yeah. Also, just a huge seller too. Sea salt and orchid.
It is, and it's trending in the sales by state, not
It
only
is.
in the last 30 days in a lot of states, even though we're having the 1 ounce sale and we've launched these new fragrances. I noticed sea salt and orchid was still in the
Yeah.
top 30 days,
Yeah.
but also in the over the course of the last year, it's in almost every state.
Absolutely. In fact, I think it's still number 2 in Florida. Second only to lavender.
Lavender,
Of course.
if you haven't tried it, you should.
Well,
Absolutely.
Kevin, do you have a favorite you want to talk about?
I do. So this time of year, especially blood orange, I'm a big fan of. You'll probably remember from our last Let's Talk Scents that I mentioned mixing this with grapefruit and mint, which I still stand by. I still do it. I absolutely love it. I think it makes for a fantastic citrus blend. And this one should not be overlooked. I mean, it's been on the site for a while. I use it by itself, mix it with another citrus. Just don't overlook this one. If you need a citrus fragrance, definitely look into blood orange.
That's another one that I really enjoy too.
Yeah,
Super juicy.
it is. It looks awesome in our 3-wick tumbler as well.
Awesome. Do anybody else have another one? Anything else you wanted to kind of?
We've already talked about it, but I always go back to Garden Mint too.
That's true.
I love Garden Mint. It sells for me year round, but it definitely spikes this time of year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a great, refreshing spring scent.
Yeah,
I love
yeah, it
that
is.
one.
Yeah. The only one I can think of is, just got a rebrand, which we should probably talk about. So Sparkling Pomelo, or Pomelo, however you pronounce it, was a fragrance we launched a year or two ago, and it just didn't get the love that we felt like it deserved. So we recently rebranded it. It is now called Sparkling Grapefruit, which honestly probably fits the concept better than Sparkling Pomelo did anyway.
Right.
But it has a new page, new image. Everything else about the fragrance is the same. We just wanted to let you know about it. You know, it's a beautiful fragrance, and I just felt like it was very overlooked. And so, if you haven't tried it, then you should. And if
Agreed.
you have tried it, maybe you want to circle back around to it, and with the thought of it being a grapefruit fragrance instead of like an obscure fruit fragrance.
And try mixing it with blood orange.
Ooh.
If you're looking for any citrus, that's a great one to try. And call it whatever you want.
All right. If you haven't tried these scents yet, remember it's our 1 ounce sale. We're just going to keep plugging that one. Our warehouse staff is probably grimacing right now because they're already slammed.
Stop talking about it.
But you know, we're still we're keeping to our same day shipping guarantee.
Always.
Our staff at the warehouse, I was there yesterday. They're working incredibly hard to get those orders out the door, and I don't know how they're doing it, but they're doing it. We didn't get any video of that, did we? No, not this time. All right. Well, maybe after the sale, we'll post. Maybe we can post a video, like a time lapse or something of our crew running around.
Yeah, just imagine them running back and forth for 8 straight hours.
Yeah, I was wearing my Apple Watch yesterday, and I logged 9 miles, and I stood still for about 2 hours at one of the packing stations. And I still got 9 miles.
Oh, no,
so,
I've spoken with some of those guys that do 13, 14 miles a day.
Oh, easy.
Just back and forth.
Easy. And it's in one section, so all the 1 ounces. You just keep going around and around.
We will do a video at the end
Okay.
highlighting.
Okay, great.
Okay, so if you didn't hear that, we're going to do a video at the end highlighting some of the highlights of the sale, maybe with some cool factoids about how many steps we took. All right, so yeah, definitely 1 ounce sale. Place your orders now. We're getting to your questions and comments in just a second. I've been watching them come in, and I've got a few things I want to...
Those labels.
What about the labels?
Show
the labels.
Can we see these labels up front here? Do we need to scoot them back?
You want me to hold them up?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
each one of these all came from Avery.
Yeah.
This is the one. This is actually one of my
Which
personal
camera are we
favorites.
on? This one?
We on this guy?
This one? Here you go.
Yeah.
Aren't they cool?
Yeah.
They're so cool.
They're all good. I think I like the hibiscus palm the best. It's so fitted.
I like this one because it's just very
It's simple,
minimalist
yeah.
and cool looking, and especially with this jar and lid combination.
I love that design.
Yeah.
And again, you can use these as they are, or you can mix them up, change the font, change the colors. You can make it your own, or you can just take it as it is.
We tried to keep to, if I'm not mistaken, we basically kept to the template that Avery provided. So what you see here is available on their website right now, but you can always go in and change, like you said, tweak it to fit with your design. They also have a lot of different label materials to choose from, and also on the back of that card that's going to be in your order, if you order during the 1 ounce sale, you're going to get a card from Avery for 25% off your next order. It's in a unique code, so don't lose it. It's not going to be available on Retail Me Not. It's going to be on that card. And on the back of that piece of paper, it shows their most common label materials.
Okay.
So it'll help you to choose like what's best for your product. Obviously, if you're doing candles versus soap, you might want a different label material, and they are there to guide you every step of the way. Sounds like I work for Avery, but I don't. I just really like that company.
Yeah, we've plugged them a few times now.
All right, so before we get to questions, there's one thing I want to go ahead and address because I'm sure if you're not asking about it, you're wondering about it. Shipping always comes up. So we always want to pass on as much information about our shipping policies and our shipping methods as we can so that you can make the best order that you can. So first of all, I think we launched last year USPS first class mail. It will hold up to 6 1-ounce fragrance bottles. So if you just want to try a few, that's a great option. Very inexpensive shipping option. No more than 6. So if you put more than 6 in your cart, you'll see that option disappear. So just keep that in mind. The second thing we've done, and we did not have this last fall, I believe, we have some flat rate regional boxes. Now they'll be shown on the shipping methods page when you get to either the shipping quote or further along in your cart when you actually get to the point of picking your shipping method. I believe those hold, was it 66? Possibly more.
Yeah.
At least 66. That's half of our fragrance line almost.
Right.
So a lot of those will fit. Now, here's the thing is as you add them to your cart, if you go over that threshold, you'll see that option disappear and then you'll know exactly how many fit. So, but it's a lot. So that option I noticed, we also have USPS priority mail.
Right.
Sometimes priority mail is a little less expensive than the flat rate,
Right.
only by like 30 or 40 cents depending on where you live. The more 1 ounces you add, you'll see that flat rate box stays exactly the same and the priority rate goes way higher. So I was playing with it this morning. I put together an order for myself and I noticed that.
And if I remember correctly, all of them, if you can do every fragrance and still go priority.
that true?
Minus the ones that are flashpoint restricted, though.
Oh, yes. Yes, you can go priority. Yeah,
Right.
because there's the weight limit on it is so high.
Right.
That,
So you wouldn't be able to do it in a flat rate, but you could do a priority
Right.
as
Yes.
long as you don't have those flashpoint restricted fragrances.
Right. So that's another good thing to point out.
Right.
The flashpoints.
We only have a few left, but there are a handful that are restricted because they're flashpoints, so they cannot travel by air. So we can't send them to the post office. Those have to go UPS ground. But if you don't have any of those, you can send everything else through the post office.
Yeah,
Save yourself some money.
An important note about that is if you add those to your cart and then you try to go to the shipping page, you'll get a message, a pop-up that says, or like a banner, I think, that says, this fragrance, and it'll call out the fragrance that you have in your cart, must ship ground. So you can decide if you want to remove that from your cart, or at least then you'll understand why the shipping rate is switching over to UPS versus, in a lot of cases, the less expensive USPS option. So, what we always suggest, or at least what I've always suggested when you are trying to place an order and you're trying to play with the shipping prices is add things to your cart, remove things to your cart, see how that price changes. We're passing that information directly through to the shipping provider. So that quote that you're seeing there, that's what it's going to be. We're not going to bill you later for it. You can play with it in real time and see how that affects your shipping cost. All right, so I think now let's get to some questions. Let me see what we got here. First of all, Latrina, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, mixed cucumber with watermelon.
Ooh,
I like
I hadn't
that.
thought of that, but that sounds.
We should try that.
It's a new take on cucumber melon.
I like
Yeah.
that.
Makes sense.
Yeah, but I think it would be.
It'd be a little sweeter.
I would like
probably.
that better. I think.
Yeah.
Well, not better. Just be different.
To
Yeah.
go with a cucumber and watermelon spritzer.
There you go.
There you go. Back into the drink line with the black cherry Merlot.
We tend to come back to those a lot.
All right, and then we were talking earlier about Magnolia and Peony, how you pronounce Peony. Peony. Amber says it's Peony.
That's pretty close to what we were saying.
The way it's spelled is fantastic. Peony. Okay. Yeah, however you want to pronounce it, it's still a beautiful fragrance. All right. Oh, so the 3-wick tumbler we launched a couple or 3 weeks ago. That's this jar right here. It's a great larger size 3-wick. Look, grows great too with our
Yeah, it's an excellent
straight-sided
compliment.
tumbler. That's a
Yeah.
great
They
product
look awesome
line right
together.
there. just for comparison's sake. So the question here is, what about the lids? When are these going to be available? Yeah, we put lids
That's a
on all
good
these
question.
just as a tease. We're so mean. These are going to be available in the in all 3 colors or just the 2 colors?
In all 3 colors.
All 3 colors. So bronze, silver, and black.
Yeah.
Hopefully by the end of this month.
Yes.
The black in the straight sided tumbler, that one's going to be available a little later. We're waiting on that one to come in, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
there was
okay.
Slight delay on that
Slight
one.
delay on that one.
Which is
So
killing me because I am so excited to get that lid. I've been waiting for so
No.
long for this. And people ask about it all the time. So
Yeah.
finally we are getting that in. We've been asking for it. We're getting it. I promise it's on its way.
So just to recap, we have the bronze and the silver in this size for the classic straight-sided tumbler. The black is coming soon. And then we're going to have all 3 colors, the black, the bronze, and the silver in the 3-wick size, launching the end of this month, March. Hopefully, keep an eye out. There's a sign up on somewhere on the 3-wick
On
tumbler
3-wick
page.
tumbler
Yeah.
page.
Yeah, so if you go to the 3-wick tumbler jar page, there's a sign up so that you can get notification when we launch these jars. So go sign up. There's a lot of people already on the list, but we don't anticipate any problems with stock because we ordered a bunch.
Yeah, the black 3-wick lid might be a little bit later.
Okay.
But we'll have it
Okay.
coming soon, so
Okay.
they're all coming soon.
All right. Next question is, where are the links to the Avery labels? So there's an article. Do either of you want to talk about the article? I can talk the article. There's an article. Yeah, it's okay. There's an article on our site. It's Behind the Scents. It's a really cool article that our team put together with sort of like some ideas and some concepts behind each fragrance. And there we listed the links for almost all of these labels. There's a couple designs that came afterwards, like this coconut lime verbena one came a little later. We can post that one in the comments if you need it. But go to the Behind the Scents article. You can scroll down and look a little closer at images of these labels, see them a little closer,
Yeah,
and then
maybe
you can,
hard to see on camera here.
Yeah,
And it gives you really great ideas for how to message what each candle is and different marketing concepts for each one and how to position them.
yeah. That was a great article. And we're going to try to continue doing that for future launches too, because I think it's really helpful for people to figure out how to brand these in their soap or candle line. Okay, here's a question. In your opinion, hibiscus palm better for soap or candles?
Well, I'm always partial to candles, so I gotta say candles. But honestly, that fragrance is fantastic for both. Why limit it? Do both.
Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, I would definitely make some soap with it just
Yeah.
to leave in the bathroom, so then it just smells like you're walking into your own little rainforest.
Nice.
So,
All right. Difference between lavender, chamomile, and white sage and lavender.
That's an excellent question because they are fairly similar in their notes. There is some chamomile in the white sage and lavender, but it also has a lot more going on to it. Whereas lavender chamomile was pretty much just those 2 notes. This one is much more complex, has a lot more going on, but it's more herbal. I think if you were a fan of lavender chamomile, you're going to be pleasantly surprised with this one. But if you weren't a fan of lavender chamomile, still give it a try because it's different enough to have a whole new appeal.
yeah.
I think the lavender chamomile was a little softer and smoother. Kind of had a soapy quality to it, if I'm
Yeah.
remembering correctly. Because I remember we compared the 2 to see, what our
Sure.
thoughts were. This one is more herbal, which is why I tend to like it more than the lavender chamomile. It's just my personal preference. But all right, let's see. Tamika says peach nectar is her favorite. That's
I love peach nectar.
That's another
That
great
is
spring
the
summer.
best peach fragrance I think I've ever used from any company. Peach nectar is awesome.
There are no other companies. There's only us.
I mean, yeah.
Go on. Jenny asked for suggestions for making samples on paper. Like, okay, I'm going to assume that you mean,
Like scent samples to give to your customers so they can get an idea for what the candle will smell like.
that's what I'm thinking.
It's kind of improvising blotter strips.
Yeah, or you can use the blotter strips and then wrap them in foil.
Okay.
If you put them in a paper envelope, the scent will come through, especially if you have a couple together. But foil should keep the scent separate.
You could also do that with like a wax sample with the fragrance in wax and put it on
yeah.
a little foil and wrap
Yeah.
it up and do that. That could work.
Yeah, that's what because I make wax melts as well. So a lot of times I'll just use one melt as a sample.
Oh, yeah.
I used to do tea lights, but it
Yeah.
became really time consuming.
Tea lights are a bit tedious. But
I could have left out the wick, I guess.
Yeah, you could. I mean, it's essentially the same thing of doing
Yeah.
that instead of a melt. But I already make the melts, so it's easy to just separate a few for samples.
All good way to make samples.
Yeah. All right, here's another scent mixing suggestion. Day at the Spa and lavender.
That makes perfect sense.
I could see that because Day at the Spa is very lemongrassy.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got like a lemongrass and lavender.
It'd be a very,
blend.
very calming spa fragrance.
Yeah,
That sounds really good.
I like that one. All right, will we do a Facebook Live for mixing scents? Ooh,
That's
Yeah,
a
It's a
great
great
idea.
idea.
let's do that.
I'll do that one.
Yeah, let's do that. I mean, we could do an article. We could do a lot of things, but Facebook Live would be fun. I think that would be
Yeah,
cool.
absolutely.
Although-
Send us your suggestions.
Yeah, send us your suggestions, and maybe we'll put something together. Maybe we'll try them live and see what we think.
Yeah, we
That
can
could be dangerous.
That could be a lot of fun, though. I like
blotters
that
and
idea.
a couple different fragrances and then hold the blotters together.
Yeah, we could do
Okay.
that. I'd rather just, make a big mess and put it on Facebook.
I think it sounds a good ton of fun.
All right, let's see. How many ounces does the 3-wick tumbler hold? Oh, it's a great question.
It holds just over a pound, so we put 17 ounces of wax in each of these.
And that takes it to right there.
Yeah, if you did exactly a pound, I think it would still look fine. It would just be a little
Right.
bit lower.
Yeah, so you can see. And then when you put the lid on, you can see there's very little gap. There's just maybe a quarter of an inch, not even a quarter of an inch.
Yeah.
Maybe
So
an
up
eighth
to
of an
you.
inch.
We
Yeah, there's
recommend
a-
just over a pound, but anything around there, it'll look good.
Yeah, there's definitely some personal preference to it on where you want it to sit in the jar, but at least 16 ounces, I would say.
Yeah.
All right, here's another fragrance blending suggestion. Fresh picked cucumber with sweetgrass and violet. Some very
Yeah.
garden, fresh, floral.
That's a great idea.
Absolutely, because sweetgrass has that little bit of greenness to it, and the cucumber would heighten that and make it. Yeah, I think that's a really good idea. I'm gonna have to try some. I might steal some of these ideas.
Thanks for that idea.
Yeah, these are great. Let's keep sending them. We definitely want to hear about it even after we go off live, which we're about to do. So I'm going to wrap up. Thank you so much for joining us today. This was fun. We love talking about our fragrances. We love hearing what you think about our fragrances. They're definitely a labor of love, and we really enjoy hearing your comments. Our 1 ounce sale again is happening right now until Friday at midnight Eastern time. Our next sale won't happen again until the fall. So if you are curious about any of these new fragrances or any of our fragrances in general, you should go ahead and place an order now. We want to hear your thoughts once you're done testing. Go to the fragrance page and leave comments. You can always reach out to customer service.
Always here to help.
This guy. And, we use those reviews and those feedback and all of your comments to inform, what our next development process is going to look like. We definitely want to make sure that we're giving the people what they want as long as we can. So let us know what you want to see, and we will work our best on it. Anything else you guys want to add that I may have left out?
I think you were quite thorough.
I talk a lot.
Well, thank you for leaving reviews because we're definitely looking at all of them.
Yep,
Absolutely.
definitely. All right, well, I think that's it for this episode of Let's Talk Scents. So thanks again for joining us. And if you're watching this video later, definitely leave comments. We want to hear them. And we'll see you next time when we do Let's Talk Scents.
Bye.
Have a good one.
Bye.